Hello and welcome back to Deep Talks. I'm Peyton, and today I'm here with another very, very special guest. This one, like even more special than usual. And it is Sean Eyer, who is a Peterborough radio icon. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Peyton. Thank you very much for asking me to be on Deep Talks.
Oh my goodness, it was.
I'm ready with a lot of deep talk. This is my very first time on a podcast, and I haven't been interviewed or asked questions by a such a very pretty personality in a long time, and a very long time actually. So I'm really looking forward to this today.
Oh my goodness, I've never had my personality be called pretty before. That's so
There
nice.
you are.
Thank
There
you
you
so
are.
much. Oh my
You're very
goodness. Well,
welcome.
your personality is pretty cool too. That's why I asked you to be on here.
Thank you. I'm, I'm, yeah, I'm very, I'm taken aback by it, really, because, you know, I think I know why the initial contact was made in Trent at I could call it a seminar or a class,
Yeah, it was, yeah, seminar class.
whatever. And yeah, and so that was a few months ago. And I was boy, I was taken aback when I got the initial request from you. And when did you start this?
When did I start the podcast?
Talks. Yeah,
2020. It was just,
really.
I was kind of just
Okay.
like, why not just start like a talk show? Like there's no rules. It's like you can't. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Let's see what happens.
Good for you.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm good at talking, so
Well, you might as well put it to use then,
yeah.
right?
Okay, let's go to the first question. So first of all, Sean, what inspired you to go into radio?
That's yeah, that's a real mixed up question, and or it can be the answer is mixed up. Let's put it that way. I was born in Northern Ontario and spent most of my early life there, except I came down to boarding schools down here in Southern Ontario when I was so unruly that my parents couldn't handle me in Northern Ontario. So they sent me down south to learn how it is to live in the modern world, so to speak, in the adult world, and all that crap. Can we say crap?
Of course.
And um, I I wanted to be an actor. I always had a real yearning to be an actor, and I was in school plays and all that sort of thing. And just as I was about to get at that time, my senior matric, which would be grade 13 now, um, I uh, they built a television station in Timmins. We didn't have a television station there. Any television we wanted to watch, we had to come down. I'll make all the trip down to Southern Ontario to you guys and see what you were being fed on the boob tube. And so I got a job there in the summertime, and I didn't immediately go to the announce staff. I was given the job of doing work in the production you know in the studio, and I did audio and all that sort of thing. I wanted to be an announcer, but I couldn't fulfill my my inner desire there at that station because there was 30% French on television, 60% French on radio. So CFCL radio and television um, didn't have a place for this English guy, and I'm afraid I was bad in French at school. I
Too.
shouldn't have been. It was the
Est-ce que je
thing,
peux
you
aller à
know.
la toilette? Bienvenue. Wait.
Mhm.
Bonjour, bienvenue à la classe de français. That's all I know.
But there you are.
Hello, welcome to
Uh,
French class, and can I use the bathroom? That's what I know how to say.
yeah. Well, I could do some of the more colorful language in
Okay,
French, which I
okay.
won't repeat here, but
Okay,
I can't.
tabernacle.
Yeah, yeah, Mosey Tabernacle and a half anyhow. That sort of stuff. But anyway, I wanted to get into announcing. So there was a station in Timmins, another radio station there that was completely English, CKGB, and I applied there and I got the night job. And I thought I was, here, I was going to make it. And I was on my way to making it anyway. Um, but as I found out that to be stationary in Timmins was to be either living there, you know, or stuck
Mm,
there for some reason. Uh, so the big thing was to try and get your basic, radio knowledge, announce knowledge, anything to do with the broadcasting industry knowledge. We didn't have at that time, which you see, you have so many good things to draw on now, um, because I'm really dating myself now. But we didn't have any Ryerson, we
mm,
didn't have any Humber Ryerson
mm,
or any courses
mm,
in radio television. It was so early in the system in the industry. So the idea was you somehow or other. This is how you learn to be a good con. Uh, you conned your way into being the good friend of one of the announcers, and you became his gopher, and you did everything for him. You know, he became such a lazy guy. It wasn't funny because everything but what came out of his mouth is what he did. The rest you did all the paperwork. He did
mm,
the arranging of his records, all his material, and that sort of thing. But that's what gave you your basis for getting in to the wonderful world of broadcasting. And eventually, I got a chance to audition here in Peterborough. Uh, Through a notice that was generally put out through the whole company, which Lord Thompson of Fleet happened to own at that time. You may have heard of Roy Thompson. Roy
of
Thompson
course.
Hall would
Yes.
be
That's one of my
would
favorite
would
areas.
be yeah. Is it okay?
Yeah. Well, it's in the theater district, so I'm just continuing to gaslight myself to think I can make it for
Hmm.
working for Mirvish.
Okay. Are you theatrical by
I
bent?
am. Yeah,
Okay.
I am. I have a
Uh,
bit of a musical theater background and I dance. I'm still dancing, so
do
yeah.
you? Okay.
Yeah. I went on stage for the first time in 6 years in March, solo.
Hmm.
So that was
And,
nerve-wracking. It was a lot of fun.
and
I thought my time with dance was coming to an end before that, but I was invited to do this and people and it
good for you.
restarted, so that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Um, So, okay. So, I was going to go on there
Yeah.
and interrogate you something horrible, but I won't do that, Peyton,
We can do it
because
after.
this is supposed to be the other way around, isn't it? Is it or is not?
You
No,
can
it's a
ask me
talk.
questions too. Yeah, to talk.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Um, you know, by getting someone as old as myself on your program, have you had somebody as old as me on your program?
No, no,
No.
no.
You
You're
haven't
special.
you haven't learned how to handle a senior yet, have you?
No, I have my booby. She's turning
Mm-hmm.
96 next month.
Really, really.
She was at my convocation.
Wow,
Yeah, here I can show
that's
you.
special.
I can show you a
That's
picture.
very special.
It was very, very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I came down to Southern Ontario and I did an audition and I got it. And I had this devious plan, you see, upon the world. that I was going to come to Peterborough, and that was going to be my stop off point and my launching pad into Toronto, into the Toronto scene. And I was going to do a lot of CBC TV work as an actor, and I was going to branch out from there. And the world was my oyster. I was going to set the world on fire. And so far, we've kept from being on fire. And so far, I didn't have anything to do with it, um, making it go on fire, because I got stuck here. And stuck is a horrible word, isn't it?
Hmm.
Um, I actually chose to be stuck here.
Yeah.
I met a young lady, and that was it. And the young lady had good roots here, and she had a good job here. and um, and I had thought I had a good job too, because I started out in television actually at
Oh,
Checks TV
wow.
and
Okay.
on the Hill, way back in 1960.
Wow.
And yeah, I was the weatherman. And
Ah, the Weatherman.
yeah,
Okay.
see, that's where the gift of the gab comes in,
That's a fun
because you could,
job. What was that like?
it really comes in. Yeah, handy. If it's not going to rain tomorrow, we're going to have sunshine. If we're not going to have sunshine, we'll have a bit of cloud. But don't worry, we'll have a bit of fog in the morning, but it'll dissipate by noon hour, and you'll be fine on the drive. And there you have it. I gave you the whole forecast, and you're happy.
I know in our radio class, when we had to go on the air, it was like you had to say the weather on every hour. And every time we had to go on, we would like be reading the page and we would just be like stumbling over our words. I would never do it because I would always be like, no, you do it. I'm gonna mess up. Good on you for being able to do it for so many years. And how was it?
Well,
Was
yeah,
it fun to be a weatherman?
it was. It was. And here I was, 21 years of age, just a whippersnapper, really, you know. And I was the weatherman here in this area. I took over from a fellow by the name of Dave Duvall, who became very famous in this area and also on CTV on the national network. Um, he left here. He left Checks to go to CFTO in Toronto. And that was the base station, or the hub
Oh,
station for the CTV network. That was
okay.
finally going to go in competition with our wonderful CBC. And so when he left, it left an opening. I happened to fill it, and away we went. Um, it's been a good life, and I've stayed here in Peterborough. I've done a lot of different things here in broadcasting. We'll get into that, I guess, as we go along. But I've had a good life here. I enjoy Peterborough. I
There's something
enjoy
about
Peterborough.
Peterborough.
It lets you do what you want to
There's
do.
something about it.
It,
It does.
it
It's
has
true.
with me anyway.
That's
Yeah,
true actually. That's a good way to put it.
and I can get, yeah. I I've had I've had a charmed life here in Peterborough. Through thick and thin, you know. It hasn't all been good, but it hasn't all been bad, and the highs have been great. Um, and being a manic depressive, I I have many highs here in Peterborough. Um, it pretty well ruined my first marriage. We've kept up contact, and we have a very good relationship. Had right through our lives, as a matter of fact.
That's
But
good.
I was just a bit too difficult to live with. I know that now. I was the kind of guy that, you know, I go driving I get out of work early on an afternoon, I go driving around. I'd end up in Millbrook, and there was a man by the name of John Tinney there that owned John Tinney Motors. And I knew John, and I was the kind of guy, John would say, Sean, I've got the car for you. Now come and take a look at this new Oldsmobile. This is a great car. By the time we finished the conversation, I'd bought the car without any consultation at home, without any consultation with bank, uh, to a degree, you know. And anyway, I drive it home and say, honey, I got something to show you in the driveway. And she'd leave the dinner table, come out to the driveway, and I think she would want to throw the dinner table at me, by the time she saw the new car sitting in the driveway. I mean, that's a horrible way to treat anybody, you know. But
Mm,
those were highs.
yeah.
They were part of that what they now call bipolar
Yeah.
um,
It was the mania. Yeah.
existence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't. I guess yeah, I suffered through that. I went to the hospital a number of times, a couple, well, 3 or 4 times
I
here
was,
in
yeah.
Peterborough.
I was in the hospital in 2021 here in Markham Stouffville. I was actually very
Yeah,
popular on the ward.
yeah.
I was actually very popular.
I wouldn't done it. Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I didn't have a bad time. I mean, I thought people were trying to communicate with me through the walls, but I wasn't having a bad time.
Good for you. I could.
I got room
I
service. Like I got to do whatever
yeah.
the fuck I wanted. I stole
Good.
some stuff. I still have I have a basket of stuff that I stole.
Yeah.
I stole a bunch of markers. I still have them.
Hmm.
And a magazine, I think. Unless yeah, I think I stole that too.
Well, I can remember clearly, and I wish I had kept it. It wasn't an it. Whoops was a dog. Was a oh what do you call those? Toy dogs.
So I got okay.
And Whoops sat on his rear, and so he sat up and looked at you. But when he sat up, he always didn't just remain sitting up. He started to tilt and
Oh,
he went back on his side. And whoops, he went down on the table or wherever I sat him. That's how he got his name, Whoops. And I carried him around for 6 weeks, I think, in the hospital and introduced him to everybody. And we had quite a time.
one second. No, no, no. You can
I
keep
remember that very well.
you can
So
keep talking because my dad
there you go. Um,
I got this. My dad, he had like a work party and it was like at an arcade. It was like a Christmas party and it was at an arcade and I was in the hospital. And
okay.
this is like a claw machine thing, but he got me this and brought it to me.
Yeah. Oh, isn't, oh,
And
yeah.
I would share him around. I'd be like, here, if you want to hug, you can hug him.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it was very nice to have a bear with me.
Yeah.
We call him Iceberg, the bipolar bear.
I was going to say something icy. Yeah.
The bipolar
Mhm.
bear.
The bipolar bear.
Because I was in the hospital for bipolar and he's a
Bipolar bear.
bipolar bear. Iceberg, the bipolar bear.
Thanks for introducing me. I
Oh yeah, how you doing?
appreciate that. Oh, yeah, very much. Yeah. Well, I got out of that, out of that eventually and went back to work. And it was quite an existence. Um, from there, I I was doing the show one day, and they decided they were going to expand the news department, and the news guy was doing this rural show on at noon hour on Czech's radio, and they were going to make him the news director. They're going to take him off the air, and they needed somebody to sit in and do that rural hour. And I can remember Gord Shale, who was the program director at the time. He said, well, Ayre's from Northern Ontario. He'd know Kitty Wells and Webb Pierce and all those big country stars because that's all he heard up in Northern Ontario. So he said, yeah, let's go get him. And I agreed. And it was actually a very advantageous move because in about 2 years from then, Uh, the country and western um, genre, I guess you want to call it, or industry, it just broke wide open and became very popular. And I was right in it, and it served me very well. I became Sunshine Sean
Sunshine
and the
Sean.
Wired Woodshed, and away we went. Yeah, I had a heck of a time on that. Beautiful.
Awesome. Awesome.
Just so, just so flippant and just so I could do anything I wanted. It was beautiful. I couldn't swear, but I could do anything I wanted. It was great. And it all put it down to this character was doing it, but I was doing it, but it was my outlet every day. And they expanded a couple hours, and I just had a heck of a time doing it. And a friend of mine, an out staff, he became a good buddy of mine. We did a two-man routine called Elwood Cranston from Cordova and Sunshine Sean. And yeah, we had the town on a laugh board all the whole time. It was great.